Did you hear that the NBA is trying to do an NBA Europe League?
Yeah, I heard about that.
You heard about that?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, E. If you was a kid, you always wanted to go to the NBA, and they'd be like, for the third pick of the NBA draft, we Madrid selects Ethan. How would you feel about that? Do you feel like you made the league?
I feel like I made it pro, but I wouldn't feel like I made the NBA though.
Damn. But all right, what if you get the same money?
Yeah, I'll be glad I'm a pro, but I'm not an NBA.
It's NBA Europe.
But it's not the NBA though.
Is
It's
that-
not the NBA we all know and love.
I mean, all right, fine. Your family got to go to Madrid to see your games. That's that's the only difference, though. They gotta fly 18 hours. That'd be the only difference. You know what I'm saying? 18 hours, they flying. But they met with they met with Paris and London. What if you got drafted to the Paris Equalizers? How would you feel about that?
Nah, still not the NBA though.
Nah, come on, bro. You get the same love. They gonna love you even more over it in Paris.
Again, I would enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I would enjoy it.
Damn.
But it's not the NBA.
No, my old heads, my fellow old heads, cause I'm an old head with y'all. I'm with y'all. I don't think y'all gonna like that, man. Y'all complain about what it look like now. Man, wait till you see the NBA go to Europe and how they gonna play basketball then. Y'all definitely gonna hate it. Y'all definitely gonna hate it then. Because trust me, they pass that ball over there, bro. They swing till they find the right person, man. So y'all might not like the Europe NBA.
Well, what you think about it? You think
You know, I'm always optimistic. I look at it like, damn, the guys who want to make the league, they got an opportunity now. They got, you know what I mean? They got more opportunities. It's been over 30 years since the NBA expanded teams. They're investing billions of dollars into this. So, you know, I think it'd be cool. Like, damn, like, can you imagine that? Yeah, yo, we're going to go to Europe for, you know, for some of the games over in Europe. We in Madrid, we travel to Paris, London. We get this, you know what I mean? It opens the things up a little bit. I wanted them to go a little, I want to do the same thing for Africa too. You know what I mean? Africa a little far though. They make it tough to get to Africa though. They don't play no games. You gotta get shots, all types of shit to go to Africa. Then you gotta get a shot. You gotta beware of mosquitoes, all types of shit over in Africa, man. But I want them to do the same thing for Africa. I want to do the same thing for all continents, to be exact. I want to do the same thing for Japan as well. But excuse me, not just Japan, Asia. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be pretty cool. It just wouldn't give the same feel, like you said, though. It wouldn't get the same feel. Like if I got drafted to the Madrid Huskies, then it's just like, damn, over here in Madrid. You know what I mean? But I think they'll Americanize it a little bit over there. Like wherever it goes, I think it'll be Americanized to some capacity. So
you think other sports like baseball and football would adapt to that?
I don't think football, because football is just not football is not as big as you think in other countries. They'll do not lacrosse. Not lacrosse. What's the other one?
Rugby.
Yeah, rugby. They do stuff like that. Right now, basketball is the number 2 sport in Europe. Obviously, number 1 is soccer. So you know, it has to make sense. I think this makes sense to on a business standpoint. Now, for all my fans out there, the fans not going to like it. You know what I mean? If you live somewhere in Georgia and you never really traveled outside of Georgia, you're not going to understand or not like the fact that they're going to Madrid, London for the games.
Wouldn't they have their own teams out there though? Like
they would have their own teams. You know, it hasn't been like the details is not out yet. They would have their own teams, but they wouldn't have like. But here's what I'm thinking. Like I'm thinking, like, what if they like people get drafted over there? Like American players from college get drafted over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if people get traded over there? Like, you know, like the Raptors, the Vancouver Grizzlies, those teams, you know, are in Canada, which Canada is not that far. Europe is far. You know what I'm saying? So you think about it. You think about like just imagine like Bronny James getting drafted to the Paris Equalizers. You know what I'm saying?
I would imagine they got their own little league, like it's a Europe league and American league. Like Europe players get drafted over there, then American players get drafted over here.
But
I don't know how.
I don't think. All right, I don't think they would trade between leagues, right? I was kind of, you know, I was being funny with that, but I don't think that would make too much sense. Well, then again, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the details. Some of the teams like Madrid, like their licensing deal with the Euro League is almost up in 2026, and a few other teams as well, right? So you right, they may have like an NBA Europe League and just draft people like that, but I still think it's an avenue for American players to play on those teams too. I don't think they just going to isolate those guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked that question. Like, damn, what if you make it to the NBA Europe and don't make it to the NBA American? Do you still feel like you made the NBA?
Now, how long do you think it would take for the lore of NBA Europe to be built up? So it feels like, damn, this is actually like
years,
5 years.
decades. I think because you got to remember, like the ABA merger, the only way you can really sell people on it is to get top talent over there. You couldn't get like second part talent. You have to get like somebody that's like really good. He plays over there and is a big deal. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't make sense. Like, all right, if you like the third best player on your college team and you go into the NBA Europe, like nobody gonna want to watch it because you're the third best player.
Now like if you're the best player out there, why not play in the NBA out here?
What in Europe?
Yeah, like let's say they dropped their version of LeBron James.
Right.
Wouldn't their version of LeBron James want to play out here in America?
I mean, maybe depending on the money though, because what if the NBA? Because right now, it's been talks of $1 to $5 billion being invested in this, so they're gonna have money to give, more money to give than you would get at the regular Euro League. So, like for instance, a lot of guys who came on the show and they talked about their story or whatnot. A lot of them has talked about how you go overseas and they don't pay you. You know what I mean? Or you pay late or whatever. So imagine going over there and you getting paid that check. Like if you a dude who borderline NBA and you go to NBA Europe and they pay you $5 million or whatever, $15 million a year, you're not going to really care about playing in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you want to go to the NBA, we'll give you $2 million a year versus your 15. And then, like, I don't know if you know what Stephon Marbury is, right?
Yeah.
All right. So when he went to Asia, they showed him love. He got a statue out there after he was all done. He got a statue out there, dog. Like, bro, he has his own sneaker line and everything. You know what I mean? He had the Starberries. Those Jordans, at first they was like, when they was in America, they was like $15. And it did. I mean, he was trying to do something good. He was trying to do something good by making affordable shoes. But then people was clowning dudes with affordable shoes. Yo, American shit, man. Like how y'all gonna clown people for bargains? Like, come on, bro. But and they also said, this has been a rumor though. This is just a rumor. They ain't gonna like LeBron for this one. They said Mav Carter and LeBron has got their hands in this. They got their hands on it. It's a lot of rumors, speculation that first Mav and Bron was going to try to get investors to start their own league, right? Then what it sounds like to me, because that was reported in September. Now, what it sounds like to me is Adam Silver has said, let me get, nah. But I wouldn't be surprised if Bron is working on behind the scenes. So here's what I mean by this, behind the scenes, right? If you remember when Jordan Jordan played for the Wizards. Jordan, only for the Wizards, I believe it was like a contract for like $1.2 million, right? Something like. But he took that contract because they told him they was going to make him an owner. Right. Excuse me. Right. So when I see guys like Brian playing for 23 years, I don't think it's all about the playing basketball. I think some of it's like, look, we need you to put more sweat equity into this, and we can make you an owner. I don't think LeBron is playing 23 years to walk away from this game and be like, all right, I'm an analyst now. He not doing it for, like, that would look crazy. 23 years in the game, and they said, all right, we're gonna put you on NBC. Yo, you did all this for us. We're gonna put you on. And that would just look wild to me. Maybe some guest appearances here and there, but a regular, him and Rudy Gay talking shit. Nah, bro. Not 23 years in the game. Him and Blake Griffin sharing stories. Nah, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like he doing this so he can have some type of hand on some of these teams, bro.